I finally got 100% on my phone. Finally got 100%. All right, first things first, my name's Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Crystal Age Technology Screens. Hold on for a minute. This is where we're going to be pushing on Crystal Age Technology Screens. We're going to be adding in those home theater starter packs, and they're going to come with a whole lot of cool stuff. But anyway, looking more into this screen we're building here. This is going to be a huge office screen we're putting in, and this is not the screen paint, by the way. This is the screen paint for this. This is a magenta, magenta technology. We have something called an Azar. I think it's a blue technology we're working on. That's going to be for this. That's the reason why I got a cordless mouse. Fire sticks, for some reason, are just not working in here. They're just not functioning for jack. So I'm gonna have to build me a little micro PC for basically just plug it in and using while we're in here, because we can't be using these big machines in here. It's just not gonna work. So I'm gonna build one. So I'm just gonna pick me up a nano board or a pico board, build me a nice little makeshift fire stick and something that'll run without having any complications of the fire stick. So that'll be a fun little project right there, because now we have to build one. All right, so we're going to be showing off exactly we're from here to there on our projector. He's making biscuits. And we're going to be running ultra short though, which should be extremely easy at 3800 lumens right on top of a screen. So I'm doing this at a long throw standpoint. Give me an idea. The reason why I do these, because this gives me an idea of what projector we're working with, what we need, what we can run. It's just a lot of information that I need to see when I do this. Some people feel that when I do these demonstrations, I'm looking for this something like a high performance quality. No, it's information I'm getting back from the screen, from the projector, from the environment. This gives me information. This is why I have to do walkthroughs when I go to environments, because I have to see, first of all, if you can put a screen in there. I've walked in environments, we couldn't even put screens in there because there was just too much going on in the environment. It was way too busy. Couldn't do it. All right, so let me see for a minute. Let me see. That's why I don't want to use long throws in here. Long throws in here is going to make it quite uncomfortable for me to move around in here. It's the reason why we have to have ultra short throws in here. See, every time I walk, I'm right in front of the screen. This is why your technology has to work with ultra short throws, because you can't use long throws everywhere. You have problems with them because, again, like I said, I'm in the way all the time. If I bring clients in here, where are they going to go? Where are you going to sit at in here? There's nowhere for them to put them at because, again, you walk from the projector, boom. That's going to be a problem. I need an ultra short though right there to hit that whole entire screen to do it. So that way no one's walking in front of the projector and blocking the screen. And if we raise it up high, which is up on the shelf, then that means I run the risk of somebody walking in front of it and basically getting blinded from it. So we don't want that. We don't want it to be an uncomfortable experience. Which leads me to this machine, or the screen over here. We might have to do nothing but ultra short those in here. I got to remember, when I'm doing these setups, I'm not the only person going to be in this environment. I might have other clients in here. I got to have projectors in areas where they just can't get smacked by them. Okay, gives me an idea on a contrast level there. Let's see, do this because it always is. That's what I said. For those of you who buy projectors to be in dark environments, yeah, this technology on a whole nother level in dark environments. We're going to be doing a dedicated theater room setup. And in the dedicated theater room setup, they're dark in there, really, really dark in there. So that way we can show off a great big, huge white screen in the dedicated theater room. And in the middle of that screen, we're just going to have a straight line painted with our technology. So that way, when they come in there, sit in the movie chairs, we fire up any movie, they'll see that the black technology has the ability to be able to produce a much better image, even in a super dark environment, which is needed in dedicated theater rooms. So your colors and all that stuff are affected big time when you're using white and gray screens. You can't read, and you're still going to have to pick up the Infinity One black. You have to read it. So even in the dark, you really can't pick up all that well. So I got some dedicated theater rooms from set up, room, bring people in, put them in a dark environment, put a projector in there, and then basically just show one room we're going to have where it's going to be all gray screen and white screen in there, showing you how much light. We're going to have a machine that actually measures how much light comes off the screen and basically hits the environment. So how much is the screen reflecting into the environment versus our black technology. We're basically going to be pointing those demonstrations toward the dedicated theater room community. I spent a lot of time on their forum sites, checking out their setups and different things they have in there. And I noticed that a lot of these people have these dedicated setups, have either gray or white screens, because again, you're talking about a screen size that has to be over 100 inches, especially if you're doing dedicated, you want a real movie theater experience. So again, if you're talking about over 100 inches, you're talking about a certified screen. That's a very expensive screen. So most people will go with a gray or white screen and get a high power projector, figuring that the projector is going to fix the issue. And that's what they're going to have a problem with. That projector's not going to fix it. So some of them are forced into buying a very expensive projection screen to still not receive that Infinity One black level. And that's pretty much, it sucks. Sit there and spend $20,000 for a screen and $30,000 for a projector, and you build this amazing setup, and you still can't reach that black level like this. So we're going to be doing demonstrations, not just on, I guess, the usual home theater setups. The usual home theaters I see setups are in the dark. That's what I see. That's the usual ones I see, the dark environments. But this is where I explained to you that even in the dark environment, what I see, and again, this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it's the truth. Your screens don't work. You should be able to see that. See how bright red that is? You should be able to pick that up perfectly. You should be able to do a comparison. If I stick this screen right here, this giant screen, if I stick it against any white wall and hit it, this is a reaction I'm going to get. It should look just like a TV. I don't want a 720p projector. I bump into people who have 8K JVC machines, and they can't register this. I think I'm going to do more demonstrations like this in the dark for the dedicated theater rooms. We have to go over there anyway and do some more demonstrations on that. But I think before we got to panel this surface anyway. We panel the surface, it's going to be all white anyway. So before we paint it, we'll do a couple of demonstrations off of it. We'll take our sample sheet right here and put it in the middle of the white panels, and we'll do a demonstration completely lights out to show exactly how much of your image you lose. Now, for those people maybe saying that, hey, it's a panel, it's not the same. I have a certified sitting under the desk. It's a certified daylight white screen. I can put it up here. I bet you it blends into that panel. Now, I've had this conversation. This is why I found out about all different forms of white surfaces all doing the same thing, because literally when I did a demonstration of a white sheet of paper, the guy was like, no, it's not the same as the certified. I said, okay, let's go play this game. So I went out and got a whole bunch of white certified screens, put them all together on top of a big white sheet, and guess what? They all blended in. Couldn't tell one from the other. So that's how much of your color you're missing when you're in a dark environment. It's a lot, a whole lot. Let's go with... keyboards on this side. Let's see. Okay. Oh wait, are you even in the box to begin with? We didn't even mark the box. Jeez. Ugh. You know, that would help, right? That would definitely help, wouldn't it? Or wireless keyboard and mouse. I literally should have it over here. It's a wireless keyboard and mouse. I have no idea why I'm traveling back and forth when it's a wireless keyboard and mouse. That's why I bought it, to move back and forth. Let me see. Now, I'm used to you doing demonstrations, like I said, in fully lit environments. That's me. I'm used to that because that's what we do. We specialize in ambient light projection technology. But I do forget that there is another half that actually likes to play in the dark. And those are people who have dedicated theater room setups. If you have an ultra short throw, you should not be in the dark. Honestly, you really shouldn't be in an environment this dark. You really shouldn't. You have an ultra short throw. There's no reason why you should be in a dark environment. You're supposed to be trying to replace a TV. So I don't know how that's going to work if you're in an environment like this all day. So dedicated theater rooms, yeah, they're designed to be in dark environments. They set them up for. But, you know, you should be able to see the Infinity One. As a matter of fact, you should be able to show off all the beautiful decorations you have in your setup, but you can't because there's either one or the other. Either you're going to show off the screen or you're going to show off the environment. Can't do both because if you do, your screen washes out. That's why black is extremely important when it comes to any setup involving projection. Projector mapping applications, visual effects, special effects, all that stuff requires a 100% black level. Projector mapping is a requirement. It requires a 100% black level. Can't produce it on a gray. You can't produce it on a white. It won't work. I've literally done the test myself. I got other people in the field who do projector mapping applications. They'll tell you it won't work. They can't project it into a ceiling. They can't project it into a floor. And if they have to do anything involving black, imagine trying to watch a movie that does not involve black. That's how hard it is. It won't work. It won't read it. Your levels are literally supposed to come up that high. And mind you, we're not using a 4K projector. We're at a 720p projector, an XGA, no special HDMI ports, none of that. We're using a basic projector at my price range, cost me $10. So that's why when I see demonstrations on 4K projectors and dark environments, they got to get such expensive equipment just to get it to work. Our technology, again, that's why we do that black versus black demonstration and all that stuff at 1,000 lumens. Clearly shows that our products can pull up them white levels much higher than a everyday black or surface at the end of the day. So with that being said, as I said before, we can operate and generate in high lit environments at 1,000 lumens. In the dark, I told you, this technology is in another world by itself. Mind you, when these things are in a well-lit environment, they're constantly projecting light. Just constantly projecting light. You stick them in a dark environment where they don't have to work that hard, they'll blow out any screen on the planet. Your 4K projectors, your 1080p projectors, I can take a simple basic 1080p, sorry, 720p projector, and I can knock your screen out, clean out in the dark. You won't be able to read the Infinity One. You can't pick it up. And if you can't read the Infinity One, you can't read color. It's a domino effect that triggers off. If we turn the lights on, another domino pops up. Ambient light rejection technology. You don't have it. You can't possess it because your screen washes out. That's why you have to be in the dark to improve your colors. If we stick one of these screens in a dark environment, it's a whole nother type of technology. Now, the reason why I like these demonstrations is because you see how this is spinning. See how the minute it hits the screen, it comes to life. So imagine if your projector looked this good in the dark. Imagine how much money you would have saved instead of going out and spending $3,500 or someone advising you to spend all this money for this expensive projector when you technically didn't need it. Because the screen that they're using doesn't function for the projector. Now, you see how that black level comes up? That's how it's supposed to look. Until I speak to my customers, I speak to those who make these products that are sitting in the dark. I can literally come in your environment all day long and do demonstrations, and your product wouldn't stand. We don't bother with buying products anymore because it's a headache. The cancellations and the crying and whining, it's just too much. I'd rather just deal with certified because again, it's a more professional company. I'd rather deal with other paints we've done with in the past that have been professional, like Pro HD. I think it's Pro HD screens. Yeah, we've dealt with them. They're very professional. Goose Screen, we've done with them, very professional. The other two, we don't touch them. We don't consider them to be real products. So we got a dedicated theater room and we set it up on site for our, I told you I want to get a showroom. I'm definitely gonna have a dedicated theater room. And I want customers to be able to come in there and see, even in a dark environment, why our product's more superior. And we won't be using high powered projectors in there. Only projector we're gonna be using is basic 720p, 600 by 800 SVGA, or projectors that are running at XGA. And we're not gonna use any form of high powered HDMI ports to try to enhance our resolution. Just adapters, so we can just plug in our HDMIs. Might just run a VGA in if I'm building a machine. I can do both. I can have VGA and HDMI running through there. Honestly, to tell you the truth. So we're going to be doing some demonstrations in the dark. I'm going to have to pick me up for the showroom, I'm going to pick me up a 150-inch white screen. So we can basically code our technology half and half on. So we can do these demonstrations. That's why I sat there and said on camera, if you think these things look impressive, with the lights on, lights off, man, it's a whole different form of technology. At 180 degree viewing angle, which is actually really easy for the technology. So everything that splashes off the screen doesn't even read. Anywhere I stand at, that screen has to pick up. From here, it has to pick up. Let me see. What am I looking for here? Lights here. I don't know which one's which. Got blue lights hitting that thing. Let me see which one of these. Oh, let's do that one right there. It's got to be for these. My desk is hitting the screen. I can see it on camera, it's hitting the daylights out of it. Over here at the naked eye, I'm not seeing jack. Let's see. Here we go. Better. That's another thing too. Neon lights don't affect the screen. It absorbs any light around the environment. So, I had people who had, when you use these for basically for like outside DJ displays and all that stuff, the acoustic screens absorb all that light in the environment. Your party lights, all that stuff absorbs everything. So what I see is when I watch these demonstrations of people doing this particular demonstration, we see gray. We literally see gray. We don't see black. If it was black, it would have looked like this. But we see actually gray. Because you know why? The shade levels are way too light. That's why. When you look at black, it's supposed to be like a black hole. It's supposed to be like this infinity vortex. It's endless night. That's what it's supposed to look like. We see it on other screens. We see this light shaded gray. It's like kind of a faded black. It's washed out. So that's why I said that even in the dark, you're really not fooling anybody because, you know, someone's been staring at black screens for almost forever. They're definitely going to be able to pick it up and see it. Like, nope, it's not reading. If you're, like I said, if you have a high powered machine, projector you paid a good amount of money for, you have yours in the dark, your screen should literally look like this. You should read that 100% black. You never should come up gray. If you walk over to your screen, you should be able to always see black. If that thing comes up gray, you got a problem on your hands. It means your screen's not reading. And another reason why you find out, 100% trick to find out, 1% to show you if you're not picking up or not. Put a star field on, turn your lights on. If you can't do that and you have to turn out your lights to read the star field, again, you can't see it. I don't know where this came from. I don't know where it started from. Again, it's not, you can't do this. You literally can't make these statements. And we literally going to have to take a few people to court. I mean, I'm not talking about just, I'm talking big companies literally for making these statements, because us having a 100% genuine black screen and then hearing people saying, hey, look, you know, we got this gray screen, gunmetal screen, whatever it may be, we're picking up this black level. That's not true. You're not picking up a black level. You literally should be saying we pick up a darker shade of gray if you have a darker charcoal product, but you really can't say you're reading black. I don't care what your projector has on it. You're not reading it. So technically, because we do have a physical black screen that can prove this theory, that would be considered to be false advertisement. Talk to a couple of attorneys. You got attorneys all through this whole building. There's a bunch of attorneys in this place. They do everything. And I asked that question. He said, well, since you do have a physical screen. Now, mind you, if this was back in the era where these screens didn't exist, gunmetal didn't exist, a charcoal gray screen was considered actually a black screen. They were considered because they were the darkest thing they had at that particular time, so they considered them to be black. But then when you start having gunmetals pop up, gunmetal is a different type of screen. It's much darker than charcoal gray. They're much darker than charcoal gray. And this screen basically was called gunmetal. But then now you have a physical black screen, which is us. We have a black technology. So even the gunmetal can't even say that it's actually pulling a black level. That's why I said, how would this work if you are a company that developed dark gunmetal screens and all of a sudden you develop a black screen? Which screen are you claiming to have the 100% Infinity One contrast? Are you claiming the gunmetal or are you claiming the black screen you have? Because it has to be one or the other. So that means if they sit there and say that the 100% is coming from the black screen, what was you claiming for the gray screen, the gunmetal? There you go. So why do you have to remove it? Can't say that. Unless you have a physical black screen, which is going to be interesting. Because once they reach the plateau of a physical black screen, they're going to have to change either way that the gunmetal can't read it and the black one can. How are you going to sell that one at the end of the day? Well, the black one's going to be more expensive. The gunmetal's not going to be more expensive. It's still expensive, but not expensive as a black screen. And if you're telling me that the gunmetal does the same black level as the black screen, why would I be buying the black screen from you? I should go get the gunmetal. So you're going to have to backtrack. See, this is what happens when you say too much, do too much, and you actually don't have what you claim you have. We've tested gunmetal technology, a lot of it, and we know for a fact it can't read an Infinity One. Can't read it, can't pick it up. It picks up a darker shade of gray versus the other screens, but no, it does not pick up the black level at that rate. They depend on more expensive projectors to fix the problem. That's what they depend on. We don't. We don't have to do with that. That's why my projector collection is cheap. I don't spend a lot of money. And then when you get people saying, well, you know, his products don't work on high-powered projectors, my stuff has been around longer than yours. I've had my stuff on so much technology, it's not even funny. The intro video is a 7,000 lumen projector. How much money that thing costs? It's not a cheap projector in that demonstration. Do you think for some reason, because I use only cheap old projectors, that every customer, every company that I have done business down through a 14-year span are only using cheap projectors? No. I've been on projectors, like I said, that most of them couldn't even pronounce at the end of the day. I've done some very interesting machines. I've been using projector mapping, hologram technology, just about everything, because we develop invisible technology. We just don't do this. We do all kinds of stuff. So if you notice that when you watch other demonstrations, they're stuck to one platform. They can only do demonstrations in poorly lit environments, ambient light control. We can be at full lit environments. We can go outside. We do projector mapping. We do interactive technology, submersive technology, ceiling and interactive technology, floor technology. We do everything. They don't do any of that. And if they're in the dark, anyone who's sitting in the dark right now claiming that your product works, it doesn't work. Not at all. So as I said before, we can play in your environment easily. This is nothing. Let's get something more interesting. I'm going to get something like, I forgot we got microphones running through this thing, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Let's go over to 4K Snow Screensaver. Got the white doggy. Bum, 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 bum. I can drop this at 1,000 lumens. Mind you, we can do this at 1,000 lumens, fully lit environment easily. On black versus black. On a white surface versus our technology. Easily. So lights out is nothing. It's easy. I can do this in max out zones. Heck, I even done it at 250 inches outside. At 20. Oh, yeah, there are dead spots in here. I literally moved around and it triggered on. I should have Bluetooth. Actually have 100% on my phone. Taco did not fight the phone. We actually have 100%. Whew. So I can use that. Let's get some pretty colors in here. Ooh, what's this right here? Yeah, contrast is very, very important. This is why they put it on your projectors. If you look at your projectors, you don't get a 2 million to 1 white level. Yeah, you'll never see that. It's always contrast. They know that contrast is very important. The only problem is that 2 million to 1 ain't going to mean jack in a fully lit environment because your screen can't see on number one, and your lumen count is going to wash out your screen even faster. I find that really interesting. What do you call a double-edged sword? When you're using, people go up there and get like a 7,000, 8,000, 5,000, 4,000 lumen projector. And they figure that 2 million to 1 contrast combined with that is going to be able to pick up the image. Your screen can't read it. It's going to wash out. It's just useless. It's not going to be able to read it. Period. It's like, I say a good theory for that one is like trying to water plants with a garden hose filled with holes. And no matter how much you squeeze on that trigger, you're losing everything right there back into the earth. Nothing's really making contact with the plants. Plants don't have no point to be able to flourish and grow. They're just going to basically fizzle out and die. That's pretty much what you're doing. I always get, when we come in here, the first thing they'll ask too, lights on. And then they'll ask, so let's see the demonstration with the lights out. I want to see if there's a comparison with the lights out. So 2 things you're going to do with this surface. We're going to put a big screen up here, of course, yes. But I'm also, too, going to buy me a high-performance 2.0 white screen. It's going to be a Velcro system here and here, so we can hang that down and put a sample right against it like this. So we can show them this part right here first, so they can see it, lights on and off, and then turn around and show them the whole full screen, the whole magnitude of the full screen. Different ways I want to advertise this product. Let's get something else for you. Oh, definitely got to do this one. This is a definite yes. Kept that because I like them skin tones that popped up. We're used to the insults and all that stuff. People fear what they don't understand. That's normal human reaction. That's what it is. They fear what they don't understand. They can't accept it. That's what we know. They can't accept it and can't understand it. And that's why they fear it. But you have to understand, change is coming. It's definitely coming. I got big plans to push this technology to the next level, to get it in showrooms where we could broadcast this thing around the world, to show what this technology can do, to put it into the whole theory of you have to do this and you have to go through this, and it's a nightmare for people in the projector community. I talk to customers. I've been talking to customers for over 14 years. I've heard just about everything you can name under the sun. I've seen all sorts of projects and all kinds of tests, demonstrations on things that we're designing and building. I get a chance to see all kinds of amazing projects from companies and projects and all kinds of things in this 14-year span time we've been doing this. And I've heard it over again from customers. They're just spending all this money for these expensive setups, and they're not getting anything out of it. Not even when they're in the dark, they're not getting anything out of it. That's why they go to forum sites. That's why they ask all those questions when they go to forum sites. And I'm in the forum sites, listen to them, listen to their chatter on what they're going through. They're not getting exactly what they're seeing on the box. That's what they want. You buy a projector, you see this beautiful family on the box, it's in a real lit environment and all this, you know what I mean? Like the Optima demonstration, you know, how many people got the Optima P2 that want to do the same demonstration that Optima's doing and their demonstration at 120 inches? How many people want to do that? You can't do that because your screen won't let you do it. Can't blame the projector. Optima is a very powerful, beautiful machine. The Epson LS 800, 300, whatever it is, you can get an older model. It's still a beautiful machine. You just can't see it. The screen won't let you do it. Even in the dark, you can't see it correctly. It won't read it. This projector right here, again, before, it's an XGA projector. It's no 4K, no expensive projector. You want to get up close and see exactly how my image pulls? I pull like a 4K in here. That's a projector you wouldn't even think twice about buying. You wouldn't even go near that projector with a 10-foot pole, and that's good. That's what we want. We want you to reject the projector behind us, but I want you to also realize that that projector can produce on this technology better than what you could do right now in your own home or business. And it costs far less, far, far less. So when I walk into a room with a guy with the high-powered $60,000, $70,000 JVC or Sony or whatever he has in there, and I take my $10 projector and show them demonstrations we can do in fully lit environments or in dark environments, we can show the difference between our technology and a white surface or his own certified screen he has sitting up in his environment. It's a big game changer for him. Big game changer. All right, I am going to... Oh, shoot, I forgot about that. Let me get that. We forgot to do that, right? We did forget to do that. Oh, come out of here real quick. Let's get ourselves a Starfield screensaver. We don't have the air cleaners on. Air cleaners disrupt the mics like crazy. They do. Oh, we got to do the nebula. Got to do the nebula. See how beautiful that image looks? That's that magenta. That magenta is gorgeous. Makes that $10 projector look absolutely amazing. I've had customers see the projectors that we have, and the first thing they'll say is, what's the projector using? And so we're using this machine over here in the back, so on and so on and so. Oh, and they'll go out and buy the projector thinking they're going to be to pick this up and won't pick up jack. Because you need the screen paint to do it. There you go. Look how beautiful that image pulls up. Excuse me. So you know what that tells me at the end of the day? When I can do this on a $10 projector, it tells me at the end of the day that I don't have to spend jack. That's what it tells me. I don't have to spend a lot of money. 12,001 contrast. We don't need that. Turn that off. It's not even usable anyway. We don't even use it anyway. 12,000 contrast on a projector it doesn't work for us. And the reason why it doesn't work for us is because, as I said before, we don't need it. Our screen is contrast. We don't need it. A projector that's using a gray screen or a white screen or a gunmetal, you have to have that. That's a requirement you have to have. And you have to have a very high amount of it to do it. And you still won't be able to reach it. Look at the menu itself. So when I see menus pulling up on screens, we don't see black. We see gray on your screen. There's the star field right there, people. I have to get it charged. My phone is dead, dying. Let me see what we got going on here. I need a charge. This is not going to reach from here to here. I didn't get a chance to charge Jack. I got up. I'm so busy just trying to get stuff done. This is what you're going to have to be able to see. So your contrast level, most people will be in the dark to try to improve contrast. So all the demonstrations you just saw a few minutes ago. Give me a minute. I got to take my phone off. For some reason, my adapter will not fit. There we go. Sorry about that. Press the buttons and turn you guys off. But anyway, as I said before, most of the demonstrations we show you a lot of bright levels, bright colors, are very important to be to see. But the one thing you're going to have to read, this is the number one thing you're going to have to read on your projection screen. Forget your color, forget your white level. You have to see that. This is what you're paying for in your projector. You pay for colors in your projector, but that contrast is what you're going to pay the most. This is what's going to spike your projector's cost. Projectors, you look at a projector that has a 10,001 contrast versus a projector that has a $500,000. That $500,000 contrast projector is going to cost you far more because the contrast levels are extremely high. Because they know that's one of the things you're going to need the most if you're operating on gray and white screens. You're going to have that. A gunmetal is going to give you somewhat of a vantage point because it's a much darker surface. But you're going to pay money for that too, because the darker screens cost more money. It's not the lighter screens. You got people out there lying to you, telling you that a lighter screen is more advancement. If that's the case, then all these certified gunmetal screens wouldn't even exist. Everyone would be buying white and gray screens if that was the case. So no, it's the darker screens that cost more money. Go to any forum site, go to Contact Elite Screens, Contact Screen Innovation, talk to one of their sales rep and say, hey, look, it's guy on YouTube saying that gray screen paints are better than certified, and he's going to sit there and laugh at you. Go, no, whoever told you that is a liar, and they don't know what they're talking about. The gunmetal screens are the more expensive screens because they put up a much heavier contrast level, which means you have the ability to be able to utilize the contrast level that your projector produces out much more sufficiently. If you're using basically a projector with a lower contrast, you still have somewhat of a better chance of pulling up something decent. If you have a higher, it gets better. But if you're dealing with a 100% black screen, tell me where the contrast on your projector is going to be used. It's not. Because the screen itself is contrast. That's why. It's not required. You should be able to read that in a commercial environment easily. That black level. This is how you know that the 2 million to 1, 10 million to 1, 30 million to 1, whatever your projector possesses in contrast, if it actually works. If you literally are basically saying, I'm seeing an improvement in contrast, and you're in a dark environment, you've completely failed. You have to do it in a fully lit environment. Black is going to show regardless. It's a neutral color, just like white. White screens are neutral colors. You turn a white screen on, you have a white screen on with a snow level, whatever, you can have lights on or off. It's still going to stay the same. It's not even going to change because it's a neutral color. Black is neutral. It's going to stay the same whatever you have lights on or off. If your screen can't keep up with the neutral colors, then guess what? You have some failure going on. In order for our screen to be able to read a high white level, It has to be to show bright, beautiful colors. This is why we do the black on black. The black on black demonstrations pretty much show a couple of things in those demonstrations. One, our products don't match any black paint or black fabric. Two, that it shows the heightener of the white level technology that we have embedded on our screens, that they can read a white level so high that literally laying against another black surface won't compare to it, even in the dark, even at 1000 lumens, even outside, even on Pico projectors. Even if you go out and get a venue projector and you jump it at 5000, 6000, 7000, you still can't compete with the screen. That's why all those tests were done. That's why when I had ad tech outside, I pushed the image through the window of that woman in the black makeup, because it could take a direct hit from sunlight and still produce that woman in the black makeup right through glass. I can submerge it underwater. I can project it off a ceiling. It doesn't make a difference. It'll still produce that black level 100%. So you have to be able to read that in order for your technology or your screen in your environment to work. This will affect everything that you do. Everything. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed. We're going to do some more lights out demonstration. We're going to call it reality check. Lights out. I think I like that name for it. We get the ultra short though in here. That's going to be fun, because we're going to be 38. 38. Now, the reason why I like the 38, you know why? Because it has such a high lumen count. If we can't get a gray and white screen to register off that projector at 3800 lumens, that thing has a brighter level than a P2. It's 8000 lumens higher than a P2. If we can't get that thing to read, then guess what? It is what it is. It's just going to tell you what it is. It's just not going to work. I think that's going to be the highest ultra short throw. Right now we have the 36s, and the 36s won't read. That's a 36 over there. They won't read on gray and white screens. So we'll bring a 38 in here, hook it up here, set the whole thing up, do a nice little demonstration, do it in a fully lit environment, put a massive challenge out there for all ultra short throws all over YouTube. It's for everybody to match and better the demonstration. We're going to do it in a commercial environment. Keep in mind, you got to be in commercial to do it, because I like the lighting in commercial. If we make the challenge for your environment, we know what you're going to do. You're doing it right now. You're in dark environments. There's little specks of light all around the environment, like you're about to have a romantic dinner with your wife. I mean, come on, lighten that environment up, brighten it up. Show me what you paid for. Paid all that money for a projector, brighten up that environment. Show me what you got. Hey, it could be worse. We can take you outside. It could be far worse than that. We've done them outside before. Why not? If I paid for it, I expect for it to use outside too, because I go outside with demonstrations too, so why not? But we're going to use commercial. So you just rent yourself a nice little office space. It's not expensive, cheap. You can get office space like $12 an hour. You don't be in there that long. Just go in there and just go in. You don't need any high paperwork. Unless you're basically going to be doing like a long-term lease like we did in here, then yeah. Then you're going to have a year or so, you're going to have all this paperwork to do it. But for a couple of hours, people do that all the time. They rent these little offices out. Say you got a business meeting coming up. Got some people coming in town. You don't really have an office at the end of the day. You know, you're working from home. You make it look professional. You can rent out an office for like a couple of hours, just like that. Done. No lease, nothing. Just rent it out. That's it. I got a couple more that I'm about to rent out, just for particular purposes, because they're closer to different areas. Just have to have people coming and just talk in the space about it. Got all the equipment in there. Everything looks professional. You know, that's the way you do it. So you can just rent it out for about a day or a couple of hours or whatever. It's very, very cheap. Go on Craigslist. You find a bunch of them on there. And then you go set up your projector, lighten up that environment, because the minute you turn the lights on in there, there's no ambient light controlled in those environments. That environment is going to be lit in there. So show me your star field. Show me what you paid for. Because I get so sick and tired of seeing influencers and people with these high-powered projectors with these insane amount of contrast levels, and they're in these really dark environments. Look at the contrast. And I'm like, where is the contrast? Look at the heavy dark contrast levels. I can literally see light bouncing off your screen, reflecting off your entertainment cabinet where your projector's at. Especially when your projector is white, I can literally see the screen reflecting off of it, showing you how dark your environment is and showing you how much light's bouncing off your screen. You know, we could read that, right? We look at your projectors. So when we look at your projectors, especially when they're white, especially black ones pick them up too, especially when they're white and black, we can see light reflecting off your screen, bouncing off your projector like, wow. So if it's bouncing off your projector, it's bouncing off every ceilings and walls and every place else. You give off that much information. It's interesting because people think they're hiding stuff, but we can actually see it in the stuff that you're hiding. So what did you pay for? That's the big question. And that gives customers, when you have people who have influence power, and some are not saying all of them, I've seen actually some of them actually do things by the book. Very nice job, fantastic job. But some of them, no. Some of them go in there and show off these projectors, dark environment. Matter of fact, I got a chance to talk to one of the influencers. There's a guy who did demonstrations where he had these little candles or lights in the corner. He had a TV over there, and he had the screen over there, and the area was super dark. And I was like, man, what are you talking about? Ambient light control, ambient light environment. That's not an ambient light environment. He said, yeah, that's an ambient light environment. No, it isn't. I said, it's not an ambient light environment. I show them the demonstrations we do on ultra sure those in fully lit environments with the Optima GT 55 and 56, and the conversation ended. And what's the problem? How come you can't stick it in that environment? Your projector costs more than mine. Oh, the excuses, excuses, excuses. And meanwhile, you know, you get a customer comes on there and they see that video and they go, wow, that projector looks amazing. Just to figure out that they're going to be stuck in the dark, and this is why they contact us. But they see Mr. Bird on there with a $60 projector at 150 inches, and not only that, they look up and they see it on the ceiling. They go, oh, shoot, this guy's projecting off the ceiling with the lights on. That's why I said when I got people who do demonstrations and they point to the ceiling, what are you pointing up there for? We project off there. We play up there too. And down there. And up there. I can watch movies off the ceiling with the lights on. We've done it dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times on projectors that cost under $200. So the very same light that's in your ceiling, that's plaguing your screen, is the very same area that we can watch movies off. That's why I love that demonstration. We did the multi-screens, where you can watch me do a 235 here, and you can look way down into the next room. You can see a screen firing up in the windows. They had to come up with something. Think about it. When you're doing demonstrations on that level, your people at the end of the day who consider themselves to be your competition, we don't consider you competition, but you have to come up with something. You can't make a screen paint to take us out. You can't make a certified screen to take us out. I would never say the certified screens did this. It's more like the mediocre screen paints did this. Tried to make up false rumors about our company. That's all you have. You don't have anything else. All you have is, let's make up fake rumors about him. Let's do false demonstrations about him, and hopefully we can get him to go away. Got the wrong soldier at the end of the day. We thrive off that kind of stuff. I do battles with big companies. At the end of the day, you guys in there are nothing. You do petty stuff. Big companies at the end of the day, they don't break laws or break rules or get sued and stuff like that because, again, they got a lot to lose. They're companies. They're respectable businesses. Most likely with them, it'd be a cease and desist order to back away from their stuff, or we just don't hear from them anymore. That's pretty much it. That's the end of it. That's all. The other ones involving screen paints, they just back down. They go in different directions. And you got other ones who actually broke the law on every level you could possibly think of. That shows you how desperate and how terrified they are of our products. Now, mind you, I hate to bring this up, but it's true. We have cancellations. Not only cancellations with vicious curse words and just being under professional business tactics. When you have to stoop to those tactics to be, because you're jealous of a product, someone else's product, that shows you the level of where our technology stands. That people literally have to commit crimes to try to take our company down. That's when my buddy was like, good gracious, man, you're doing some damage over there. You got people over there breaking the law. Because they're trying to stop it. They're terrified of it. You can't stop progress. It is what it is. It's going to happen. We're already on our stage right here. We're here. Soon we're going to be out there, everywhere, with no leash, nothing to stop us. That big dog's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. There's going to be nothing to stop it. Technology we already are lined up to develop. I got technology right now we can't even show yet. I always say on camera what I say. I say, never worry about the technology you can see. Worry about what you can't see. You wouldn't even know about half of this stuff if I didn't open my mouth. You wouldn't even know this thing even existed if I didn't open my mouth. So imagine what I'm building that you don't know about. Yep, that's the stuff. Oh, he's in his cabinet. He went in the cabinet. Are you in there? Are you in your little cabinet? Are you in your little cabinet? How dare you embarrass me? How dare you? How dare you? Okay, that's what I put it there for. This one's blocked because it's got a surgeon, but that one's his little cabinet. You want your little cabinet? You're in a little cabinet. I'm going to carve out the box so there's more room in there. That's your little cabinet back there. Your little cabinet. He likes blue neon lights, by the way. But anyway, yes, that's what you should be getting, people. Lights on or off. So it's kind of like, it's more of a, for those who make these fake products and You're doing a lot of demonstrations in the dark involving contrast levels. You got to stop doing that. They got to get you busted quick. And you can't say your product's producing 100% black level. You're pulling shades of gray. Got to be honest with your customers on that, because your customers will test your stuff. They will. They're not going to just go by what you say. They're going to test your stuff. They're going to look at our videos and spec for your stuff to do our stuff. That's another thing that too frightens them, because they have to tell them that, well, on camera, we're better than him at the end of the day. But when a customer asks you, can you do the same thing Mr. Bird is doing over there? You got to say, well, he's fake. He's not real. That's not a real product at the end of the day. I guarantee you hear it out of their mouth. But then when you say, hey, he's got matching betters out there. He's challenging people. Do one of those challenges for us. I'll buy your product. And then that's the last you're going to hear of them. You're not going to hear of them anymore. Because we've been giving those challenges for years and we've never got anything back. Like, I've been emailing some of them. I've got nothing back on the specification sheets. We've got nothing back. So, yeah. So, it's interesting because that's it. Customers will test your stuff. Our customers test their stuff all the time. And guy took our stuff outside and hit it with a projector. I didn't say, hey, look, you're going to do this demonstration. Do me a favor. Don't put that outside. And do me a favor. Make sure you got a projector like 5,000, 10,000 lumens before. No, we don't say that stuff at all, period. I would never write on the container, it's not ambient light rejection, and put someone's name on it. All right, people. I like this. Can't wait to get our giant screen built. As I said before, make sure you get a batch number verification before you purchase a product. Why do you keep looking at that wall? What is wrong with you? Wow, stop looking at the wall. Make sure you get anyone that can get a batch number verification, make sure they have it. Or inform me, like, hey, look, I would like to have a batch number guarantee. You would like to have a guarantee your product is working, right? No one wants to buy anything without a guarantee by showing that it works. Nobody. You want to make sure you get what you paid for. Get the batch number guarantee to make sure you're getting what you paid for. I'm going to push this batch number. I've been praying about the next Lord, how to go about pushing this batch number, how to get this done. And I'm going to basically, those showrooms we want to set up, we got brochures on batch number guarantee information to pass out to our customers to keep them aware of why batch number is important. I'm literally even going to build me a website just for batch numbers. I want this broadcasted everywhere. Now, for those of you that are terrified by batch number verifications, this tells you at the end of the day, this video, what I'm saying out of my mouth is making you angry, it's making you upset, it's making you bitter, then that means your product is a fake. You just told on yourself. If you welcome batch number verifications, then that shows at the end of the day, you're a guy at the end of the day or a female at the end of the day that can back your product up 100% and you can stand behind it. This is basically telling the truth on your product and showing that your products do exactly what you say in your videos. Doesn't say you have to have black technology like us. It's just basically saying your product works. If you're saying, hey, look, my product doesn't match gray paints, you have to do a batch number verification showing it doesn't match gray paints. If you're saying that your product picks up a certain color or whatever it does special, you're just going to have to back that up. That's what the verifications are for, to back up whatever claim your product is claiming to do. That's what it is. If you're out there talking about gain range nonsense at the end of the day, or saying, hey, you paint the screen a 5th time, it gets brighter, you can't do that, because a batch number will cancel that right out, because you're going to have to show it. If you're going out there saying that my product doesn't match gray paints, and you're literally seeing this happen and saying then it has a yellowish tone, you're going to have to prove this yellowish tone theory. Or, again, no one's going to buy your products. And that cuts down on the nonsense. All the faking and all that nonsense, why the batch numbers are important. For the merchant, it's fantastic because it backs your product. Not all your customers are going to be 100% good. You're going to deal with bad customers. Anyone dealing customer service before? I have done customer service. You ever done customer service before? Have you ever had a day where you had all fantastic? Some people are very lucky, all fantastic customers, but you're going to bump into that one person at the end of the day is going to cause you to maybe almost quit your job. So you're not going to have a great day all the time. You're always going to bump into a bad customer. But the important thing is how to deal with that customer. Now, professional in customer service is a person that can be called every name in the freaking book and can sit there calm as a cucumber and do their job. They don't let their emotions get out of hand. They know how to do their business professionally. Let the other person rant, snap, and carry on. Heck, if you want, at one point they got it now. You can just disconnect the phone call. If the person's becoming too violent, you can just disconnect the phone call. And mind you, for people who do this, keep in mind when they tell you the phone calls are being recorded for training purposes, the company could listen to that and go, well, you look, he threatened one of our employees. They can find your whereabouts, take you into court, and use a video recording against you in a courtroom. Because, again, they sat there and said the phone call is being recorded for training purposes, which means that it's evidence against you. So be careful what you say on those recordings. Because if a company hears this and they're evaluating a caller and they go, who the freak was this? They threatened you. They threatened to blow up the company. Yeah, you got problems. You're going to have a couple black trucks from FBI coming up to your house, and they're going to use that same recording with your voice on it in court, and you're done. So treat people with respect. You with respect, take your anger, push it somewhere else, and you don't have to worry about sitting behind bars, dealing with other nonsense that you don't want to deal with. But anyway, batch number again, very important to have. Look at this separation. I can't stand these mats. The batch number is very important because, again, you are going to have customers that are not going to treat you right. You're going to have customers going to treat you nasty. Customers are going to try to get over on you. Customers are going to try to rip you off. This is part of the field of business. You have to be able to protect yourself. That batch number will protect you because it shows that your product was tested before you shipped it to the customer. It's important to have tests showing that your product was tested. Like this stuff is tested before we sold it. So if we ever go to court on this, I can honestly say to the judge, all this stuff is tested. We did it on a YouTube live stream so everybody can see. Nothing was pre-recorded. Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. I can even do that demonstration right in the courtroom. Easy. That's why you got to be able to back yourself up. Protects you against people who want to do wrong against you. And for the customer, this is a 100% guarantee that you're not dealing with a bad seller that's going to sell you something that's not real. I told you from the door that the gain range was fake. I told you this. And yet, they went on there ranting, all of them together. They're all involved in that. That whole group were all involved in that. They want to now just point the finger at him and say it was his fault. No, all of them were involved in it. You saw them all. They all got together and they supported his business and they showed different reviews on his product. Let's not forget that. We went in and told you that gain range is not real. I contacted him 3 times in a row. We got nothing back from him. Not a thing. I got to go to court for this. We're bringing him to court for this. We're going to show the judge that we did contact the company multiple times. We got nothing back at all. Not a thing. So you had an open shopping cart. We can clearly show that this item was shipped because people were doing reviews on it. So it was shipped to the United States Postal Service. And there were other individuals involved in this scheme that were doing reviews on this product. You know who? Because you're involved in this now. This is an investigation now. So we contacted the company and the owner of the company multiple times, and we received nothing back. And mind you, there are PayPal shopping carts that sit on this particular fake specification that's not real. So it's called a scam. It's called fraud. It's called consumer fraud. That's what it is. And it shows that individuals that by association, you can be charged by association, that knew this individual continue to advertise his items knowing that this gain range was fake. Get a lot of trouble for that. That's why you got to have the batch numbers. That's what's important. That's why these guys are the perfect example of why we need to push this. And yes, we're going to use them. We're going to use their examples, the blacklist, all that when we go out here. When we're on our different locations, we're going to have the blacklist posted so people can come in and see this stuff on the blacklist out there. Because they need to know exactly what they're getting themselves into. People offline need to be educated. People online need to be educated. And if they feel at the end of the day that, hey, look, you can't take me out there. Yes, I can. I can put you anywhere I want. Because the evidence that we have against you is enough for me to take it into a courtroom and file charges against you. If it was fake, I couldn't do that. It'd be virtually impossible. It'd be slandered. I would literally have been sued a long time ago. The blacklist has been around for a very long, but a couple of years it's been on there, for a couple of years. So if that's the case, would have been hit with lawsuits a long time ago. It's all real. They want to get rid of it because they don't want it there. But again, like I said, to inform the customer, this is why the batch number is very, very important. This is why it's a 100% must, because what we showed you at the end of the day, you have to back your products. Can't be in there lying. Ain't that right, Taco? Taco. Ain't that right? You know, your long, stripy stuff. He got some interesting stripes on him. Look at that little tiger. Tiger stripes. Tiger stripes. Some very interesting tiger stripes. Why are you so stripy? Are you extra stripy this morning? I am extra stripy. I swear if I had stripes like that, I'd be like, what you doing extra stripy today, my man? Extra stripy. He's extra stripy. All right, people. Hope this gets some understanding to help some people out. I'm telling you, I wish I'd have had demonstrations like this when I first started in this field. When I first started in this field of buying my first projector, man, I literally found nothing. I mean, everybody was doing the same thing. It was the same dark environment, same dark environment, same dark environment, every single video. There was nobody really explaining nothing to me. That's why I do it this way. Because what I went through when I first started with my BenQ MS800, I got to buy the projector again too. That was my first projector. I still remember it. I looked all over YouTube. I did all this research. Heck, I did a ton of research on the projector, so I know what you go through because I did all this stuff already. I can walk a mile in your shoes because I did it already. I hit the wall and saw and go, oh, this is horrible. This can't be true. Looked on the box, it looked the same way on the box. So it just got ripped off. That's how I felt. So I've been through all this already. Been to all the different forum sites, all that stuff, trying to get information, trying to figure out how to get it to work. Why is it washed out? Why does the color look this way? Black levels are poor. Every time I turn the lights on, it washes out. Man, just been through a ton of research just trying to get this BenQ MS800 to work. To just end up with one disappointing lead to another. Just tons of research, pouring my hair out, which I don't have any, but you know what I'm talking about. Just to figure out exactly where, what to do about the situation. So yeah, I know how you feel because I did it already. The ultimate lie you tell yourself that the projector's going to have all the bells and whistles and to hit it with a white wall, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Complete lie. Because I went through it. I did it already. So I know because I had to walk a mile in your shoes to actually get to this point to sell the product that we're selling because I did the opposite of what everybody else was doing. I could have went on and did a dark environment like everybody else 14 years ago. I could have went out and got myself a high-powered projector and did the same thing. I could have stuck to tradition and say, you know, you have to be in this and you have to be in that and you have to do that because that's tradition and that's the way it has to be. Could have did that too, but I didn't. I went the other way. And that's the reason why I'm here and they're there. All right, people, got to go and God bless. And of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology because if it weren't for him, none of this would be possible. Got to go and God bless.